Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm Envy Jitters.
And it's still spooky season. It's a good time to be alive. Well, you know what? I'll leave that up to your own interpretation of how things are going for you right now. But at the very least, it's our favorite time of the year, or one of our favorite times of the year, because we get to talk about spooky shit.
Yep.
Demons?
Demons.
Demons?
Demon.
It's me, your boy.
Who is our boy today?
Denji.
Is he a good boy? We're already getting the,
He's trying. He's trying.
He's trying.
we're already doing the dog stuff out the
Pochita's
gate.
good boy.
Pochita.
Oh, I wasn't even going that far, but yes. You're
Okay,
right.
first of all, Chainsaw Man. But I do want to ask real quick: does anyone else think Pochita was a Digimon? I'm just saying. Insane little animal creature with machinery inside of his body, also adorable, but transforms into a much larger, scarier version of itself. Digimon. Also, there's a devil in here that's entirely made of guns, and that's very Digimon coded. I'm just saying, this could be the alternate version of Digimon.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Chainsaw Man. Who's seen this before? I think I watched a little bit of it. You showed it to me.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So
But
I've
I
obviously
saw it
seen
when it came out.
yeah.
I've read the first volume of the manga.
Okay. You were also a manga person? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I read the manga before I watched the show.
Okay, so we can have a little bit of comparison here. That'll be nice. So, yeah, I got to watch a little refresher here. We watched the first 3 episodes of this at the very least, but just so we know,
Yes.
how far did everybody else get as far as the show goes? Any other times you watched it?
This is the first time that I've watched it,
Mhm.
and I would say that these 3 episodes are basically the first volume of the manga.
Okay.
So I already kind of knew parts of it, but other things were made clear to me because of visuals from the anime that I'll talk about them later.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I'll have a comment. I'll have a think about that too. How about you guys? How much of the show have you seen?
I've seen all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when this came out 3 years ago that the hype surrounding it was unreal. Like it was the biggest anime premiere of the year when it came out in 2022. It was people were anticipating it for months on end, if not years. And I remember watching the first, because they did I think they did the first 3 episodes all at once when it came out. So yeah, it was a big 3-episode premiere. And yeah.
Yeah.
That is a pretty cool way to do it.
I was one of those people anticipating it for months and years, and I was not disappointed, and I was very excited when it came out.
Because you were already reading a lot of the manga?
Yeah, I had read, I think all of the first manga was out by then, if I remember correctly. All of the 90 chapters or however many went into Chainsaw Man 1. If I remember correctly, it was all out, but my memory's a little fuzzy. So I think I had definitely read everything that was published at that point.
Okay.
Which I believe might have been the whole thing.
We should mention, it's got a movie coming out how long from now? End of the month or what?
Well, when we record this, it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks before it comes out, but it comes out October 24th.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, end of the week this comes. I don't know. I don't know when this is going up. Whatever. If it's out, it's out. If it's not, it's not. But they're doing the bomb lady. I remember you showing me a bunch of stuff about this more than I actually watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I know you were interested in cosplaying a bunch of the characters.
Yeah, Reese is the bomb girl.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the next arc where the anime left off.
So are they doing
Is this the arc where they're in high school?
No,
No.
this is still part 1, but
Okay.
it's the next arc in part 1. I guess the director of the movie pretty much said that he wanted to tell this story in a movie form and not for the money reasons. He actually felt it would work better as a movie. So we'll see.
I don't know if I agree. I'm a little skeptical of that. I'm the kind of person where I think having the movies the way Demon Slayer did it, I think it kind of breaks it up in a weird way and makes the rewatch experience very strange. I prefer for it all to be in the series, and then if you want to do movies, make them non-canon in the olden days,
every other
Naruto
anime
and stuff. Yeah, but nowadays they don't do that. They make whole important arcs into movies, And I think it just feels very strange to me, and I don't think it's necessary, but I think ever since Demon Slayer started doing it, everybody wants to do it. So, but I'll see, like, I'm definitely going to be at the movie theaters watching it, so I'll see, like, how I feel, but I just feel like it would be better as just an arc in the show.
I understand what you're saying, and I definitely, like, agree, like, I feel like the movie should be non-canon, but there are some parts where I feel like because they have certain number of episode syndications that they're allowed to do for a season, I think maybe they're trying to, like, break it up in such a way that it's, you know, not gonna feel choppy or rushed, and maybe doing it in a movie is a good way to do that. Like, I feel like Mugen Train, to have it be like its own little arc and like just a regular season of Demon Slayer would have been kind of odd, to be honest, because it's only like 6 episodes.
They actually did that later.
I think it felt better as an arc. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. Like, when they did do it later, I think it felt more natural to me than it is a movie. But I know I'm in the minority when I say that.
Well, this is an interesting conversation, because do you think this is going to start to become more of a trend?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, it's already a trend.
Yeah.
Well, I had really only known it from the Demon Slayer element of it. Have there been other ones that have been doing this lately?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, they did Jujutsu Kaisen 0. You know,
well, isn't it like more shows. Like a prequel movie?
No, it's important. It's part of the manga.
Okay.
There's been a few other movies and shows that have had movies that were important too.
I mean, 0 is like a prequel. Like, it is, but it's like important to the manga.
Yeah.
And the like, I think the Gojo and Ghetto arc was made into a movie rather than the show, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah, and that's also very important, even though it's a prequel.
Well, they made a compilation film. It originally aired on TV, and then they made a compilation film.
Okay,
because that's popular too.
That's different.
I mean, that's something they've been doing for a while. Madoka also kind of did that, though I think it was all reanimated then, as opposed to like just chopped up from the original series.
I mean, that's just a thing that a lot of studios have been doing, because they're like, oh, like, we want to get people to, like, watch this thing, but if they don't want to, like, watch it week to week, they just want to see a movie, they do it that way.
I'm going to reserve any judgment on this until I see a few more times where they do this, because, I mean, maybe it doesn't work, maybe it does. Maybe it's going to very much depend on the property, because I feel like there was I won't call it a super similar trend, but I remember in the early 2010s, there was a lot of young adult movies that were splitting their final chapter into 2 movies, and sometimes it worked, and other times it was like, wow, you just really wasted everybody's time.
Yeah, Harry Potter made sense. There was enough material for 2 movies. For Hunger Games and Twilight, was there really?
I don't know. I didn't watch either of them because I wasn't interested.
I would say maybe the thing about Twilight, I feel like that last portion how long were those 2 movies? Do we know the runtime? I can't remember.
I don't know. And I think we went off the plot way earlier than we imagined.
Yeah.
I will say this: the one thing that I like about Twilight, especially the later ones, is just the one scene of what's his name,
Martin Sheen with the laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He is good at anything he's doing. It doesn't matter what he is. He's gonna make it fun.
He knew the assignment. Yes.
He's the one guy who knew. You know what? To be fair, him and Robert Pattinson knew the movies that they were in.
Yes.
Anywho, Chainsaw Man. Another thing where I feel like some people understand the material that they're in. Perhaps. But
well, I mean, the guy who made the manga, I'm gonna butcher his name, Tatsuki Fujimoto, he's insane. Like, I've seen interviews of him, and he's insane in a good way. Like, he just loves doing batshit insanity in his manga.
I mean, honestly, those are a lot of the fun ones that you want around. Would you say that he's like weird, insane, like Hideo Kojima with his games?
No, Kojima's his own breed.
That's fair.
Like, he had a couple one-shots that were, like serious, like Goodbye Eri and Look Back, but his other main manga was called Fire Punch, and it's basically about a guy who's constantly on fire, like every single second of every single day.
That would suck. Unless he's into it.
He's not.
Oh, then that would suck.
Yeah. It's a very interesting manga, though. It has a lot of interesting themes in it too, and always a lot of movie references. Like Fujimoto loves making like American movie references.
I couldn't tell at all from this opening.
Yeah, I think he must have like requested that or something, like for real.
Yeah. I liked it.
But Fire Punch it's definitely more encapsulated than Chainsaw Man. I think it didn't have that many chapters, and it feels like a very complete story, but it was good.
Okay. So these 3 episodes that we watched, we can at least discuss a little bit there. And if you guys want to talk a little more plot later on, we can. Basically sets up who Denji is, how he gets his powers, how he gets involved with the organization, and then we complete our little trio of characters that we'll be following throughout the rest of the series, presumably assuming they don't all die. Right?
No comment.
No comment. So, a lot of death in this. I'm kind of expecting that. I feel like a lot of shows.
The first episode was basically Denji is suffering the anime until like the very end when he gets fused with Vegeta.
Mm-hmm. And he becomes the Chainsaw Man. He's part man, part devil. He's a devil man, if you will. Different franchise. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really good at killing stuff. And so the people in charge of killing stuff decide to hire him. More specifically, a lady named Makima hires him. And so who immediately thought to themselves, she's evil?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Wasn't even a question. What was...
She's definitely manipulative, to say the least.
So we watched the first episode, you and me, a while ago. And again, love the intro. Great song, great visuals. I love all the references. Fantastic. Can't say enough good things about it. And I think I watched that opening. I was like, okay, so she's like a devil. She like controls people's minds or something. She's the mind control devil, the hypnosis devil, the seduction devil. I just rattled off a whole bunch of different things that were all essentially the same thing. And it's like, yeah.
You called it.
Immediately. Well, it's the slug or the snail. Do you guys know about that?
The mind control snail?
Yes. Yeah, I literally think that a few weeks before that, I saw like a little nature doc about like, oh yeah, it's a worm that crawls into a snail's brain and uses and like controls its body so that it can get eaten and reproduce through like a bird or whatever. And it's like, okay, she's feeding him a mind control slug. She's evil.
I mean, my first cue was the eyes.
Yeah, she got devil eyes.
Yeah, and I was just like, you're not even bothering to hide it right now.
It's kind of...
Yeah.
I think it's a thing of, like, probably her powers or whatever, but it's like, you are so obvious.
Yeah,
you should not be getting away with this. Gojo at least covered his eyes.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those things where I'm just like, if you were less obvious about what you're trying to drive home, especially once they introduced power, and they showed us like what Power's eyes look like.
Oh, you mean her devil eyes?
Yes. I'm just like, please stop making me feel like I understand what's going on, even though like they're just, the obvious tip-offs.
Yeah, it's not going to be an Aizen reveal.
No, but also I'm just like, I would prefer it to still be like a, wait, what kind of moment?
Yeah.
It's one thing if like a character is obviously very manipulative. It's another thing if you're like really able to tell like, oh, you're not who we think you are at this point.
I think that's sometimes fun when you have a manipulative character who is not malicious. They're just really good at like being a manager of things.
I think that would have been. I think that would have been fine, and then they do the reveal. But I'm just like,
No, not even like reveal. I like people who are like totally benign, but they're just very good at like, you don't want to do your job. I need you to do your job. I am going to subtly manipulate you to do your job, and that's it. That's the whole thing. That there's no malicious intent here. Just do your job. That's all I want. I think it's funny.
But everything is riddled with malicious intent.
Oh yeah,
you can obviously tell.
This is a horrible world to live in, I think.
Yes. Well, the Soviet Union is still around too. So let's not ignore that.
You told me that this was like an alternate history sort of thing, so I guess it's essentially like the Devils altered a whole bunch of world events, so it's a similar world but different enough that it's
And it's set in the
90s.
You find out later in the show that the devils are spawned by the negative emotions of humans. Mm-hmm. So basically all the devils are a microcosm of humanity being terrible.
Yeah.
Well, not just them being terrible, but also just like the things that they're scared of.
Yeah, but a lot of the things that they're scared of tend to be things that are a result of other people in a lot of ways. Like, there's a reason the tomato devil was not like a very dangerous one by the look of it. But the
people who are afraid of tomatoes are the people who are allergic.
Yeah, so like some of those ones, like, oh my god, the peanut devil must be insane.
Yeah.
That I want to see the fight for. But like, I know that as I saw enough of the show, I think I watched like half the first season or something when it came out. I sometimes have trouble watching week to week anymore, so I kind of dropped off. But I remember them bringing up the gun devil. I'm like, oh, gun devil. That would be absolutely devastating.
I mean, it's one of the most powerful devils in the known world of their universe.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, how could it not be? It's a devil so powerful, you take its fingernail and you become a super devil.
He's like the main overarching villain for the first couple arcs of the show.
I would like to also point out, it does reinforce my Digimon theory. Have you guys heard of Gundramon?
Oh my god.
He's a dragon Digimon made of like 27 different guns.
Wow.
You want to talk about a crazy series that's absolute genius? Go check out Digimon.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I'm not getting money for this.
I know.
But yeah, so we get our main cast and crew. We got Denji. We discussed a little bit. Shittiest backstory of all time. And
that's why he doesn't have any manners, because he literally has no social skills. He's just I mean, granted, he has more social skills than power.
Yeah.
Power's a little demon.
She's feral, so.
Yeah. I mean, even then, he doesn't seem like he really went to school after his dad died. So
no.
He had to go to work.
There's also the lack of socialization, which also leads to the lack of friends. So he's incredibly lonely, aside from Pochita.
Yeah.
So his existence is really sad, which makes that first episode honestly really gritty and really sad. And honestly, the tone of that is kind of different from like episodes 2 and 3 in a way, at least to me.
I would agree with that, but it also kind of like makes you understand, because like I think we're used to, and I don't think we would call this a shonen. It's more of a seinen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I think it was technically considered a shonen, but I would agree that it feels more like a seinen.
It definitely feels more adult in a lot of elements, but it shares the same DNA with a lot of like shonen battle anime.
Yeah.
It's definitely like Shonen Jump, but it's definitely like older Shonen Jump readers.
In its first couple years, it was in Weekly Shonen Jump, but then it's now in Shonen Jump Plus, which is the adult
Okay.
version of Shonen Jump.
But this season, technically, it was in the regular Weekly Shonen Jump.
So I can see that, I can feel that, and I think this show and Jujutsu Kaisen both kind of give me the sense of like, okay, that felt like a shift of certain generational anime sort of stuff, because like I feel like you can always tell where like certain influencers are coming from. A lot of the anime we like grew up with that was coming out when we were younger, very heavily influenced by things like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Like, I'm a huge Naruto fan. You guys know that.
Yes.
Naruto and Sasuke are very much coded after Goku and Vegeta. It's right down to their color scheme. I feel like there's a lot of shows, and these are 2 examples, but I'm sure there's others that maybe are a little more inspired by that generation of anime. Like, they grew up reading Naruto, and now we're seeing more trios of over-the-top...
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, over-the-top hyperactive protagonist, emo secondary guy, and girl. Fortunately, the girls are starting to get a lot more interesting than Sakura was, so I'll give them that much.
I mean, let's not forget your infamous rant in the Shonen Showdown tournament where you compared Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's why I brought it up.
Hey man, I was right about at least half of it.
You were.
And I was right about the other half, just in the wrong way. I said like, I think my thing was like, oh, Geto is the Orochimaru. He wants Megumi. No, he's the Obito. The other situation where he has an obsession with Kakashi instead. But I was right. I was just wrong about which Akatsuki member it was.
And then we got poor Aki, who has to be the parent to both Denji and Power.
Yeah, that is something.
Yeah.
I like that they're seem to be building a lot of these teams and characters off of something that I very much enjoy. I do like that, but I also like how they're changing them around a little bit more. One, giving the girl an actual personality. That's great that Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man did that. Having teachers who aren't necessarily as cool as Kakashi. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's make them maybe either evil or, how do we describe Gojo? Fuckboy?
They did have a pretty cool teacher later on in this one. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's voiced by one of my favorite voice actors too. So
it's pretty cool.
Someone I should look forward to. Who is it?
Kenjiro Suwada.
Okay, I've heard that name.
Yeah, you've heard his voice.
Oh, I'm sure I have. All right, so yeah, we pretty much just covered a couple of things. There was a few fights, not a whole lot. We got a zombie devil. We got we found out about fiends a little bit, and we also got a bat devil, and there was a cat.
There was a cat.
I know.
Yes.
We don't
Meowie.
just get dogs, we get a cat as well. And the feral backstory of Power, who is a fiend who is slowly being tamed, I guess.
Yes.
Ish. Yeah.
I honestly think this is a really good intro to the series. At least from the perspective of someone who doesn't know the whole series, but like, okay, I can see how this could very much grab a whole lot of people. I think they did a very good job of it. I do find the characters interesting. I might want to continue this, but I'm not trying to get to the end of the episode right now, but I'm just analyzing stuff a little bit. What did everybody else think when they first saw this, or how are you guys feeling as a result of rewatch? Actually, you know what, Chibi, could you start because this is your first time watching?
So, as I said, I have read the manga, the first volume, which is basically these 3 episodes, but in paper format.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, tonally, it's a bit different. Very much it plays everything exactly as it went down in the manga for the most part. The manga is, at least to me, a bit more gritty as overall tone, at least for that first volume, and it's pretty consistent throughout. I will say for the anime, once we got past episode 1, episode 2 I think was being a little bit more silly. And maybe not necessarily in a way that I found funny, but I could tell it was being a bit lighter, but also in a gritty kind of way, if that makes sense.
Well, you're not far off about that.
Yeah.
Kind of a dark humor sort of feel?
Yeah, kind of a little bit that. Just not even so much dark humor, just the tone of how they were playing the situations that were coming about, when Aki leads Denji into the alley and, he ends up punching him and then Denji kicks him in the balls a bunch of times, and that was definitely a lot more silly in the anime than it was in the manga, but that's probably a bit of a change in art style, I would say, because I feel at least when I'm looking at something with my eyes, how they do the line work definitely helps convey tone for me, which I will say this is very clean despite how bloody it is. I mean, the anime at least. Whereas Yin, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very sketchy, the lines and everything.
Yeah, I think it did create a different tone, and I think the way that Fujimoto does the paneling and stuff also creates a different tone. The way that he repeats panels often, you can feel pauses and stuff differently. I don't know, he has a very specific way of drawing and paneling that I think gives a certain mood to the manga that I feel was lost on the anime a little bit. I feel they were trying to make the anime very clean and cinematic, and they included a lot of gore, but not necessarily, that sort of grittiness that I feel from the style of the manga. So I would agree with what you're saying.
Okay,
and we talked a little about that last week off the air, because while Chainsaw Man was overall a hit in the Western world, in Japan, it was very divisive. A lot of Japanese manga readers did not like the anime because of that reason. They did not like the quote-unquote, and this is their words, the Americanization of the anime. So that was a big controversy. And it's so much so that with the movie, not only did they change directors, the first season's director is no longer there, but they pretty much changed the whole art style for the movie. So
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna go back into, like, I guess not so much plot, because I feel like as far as plot is concerned, it's definitely like a good intro point, because we meet our main character, we learn about his situation and his backstory, and sort of like getting him into like the plot of the story, and then introducing the rest of our trio, and kind of like sort of explaining the world a little bit, which is about what you want to do. Characters, as far as they go, Denji is fine. He's a little bit too much of a teenage boy for me, but you know, it is what it is. But also, like, considering the fact that he is, you know, had to raise himself and doesn't really have a whole lot of like manners and social cues because of that, I can kind of not necessarily forgive it, but I'm kind of like, okay, I can deal with it. Aki, I think he's more there for comic relief.
Oh,
unfortunately.
really?
To be fair,
At least the parts that he showed up in during this.
Yeah, he's the only person other than Makima that we haven't really got a backstory for yet, so...
He's supposed to be a very
Yeah.
serious character.
I mean,
He is very serious, but every situation he's been in so far has been super comical.
That's true.
I think it's a result of him being the serious character with two very silly characters, which automatically turns him into the straight man.
Yeah.
So we
yeah,
have to
that's
we
true.
gauge the comedy based on his reaction or lack thereof.
Fair.
And I think it's a good combo.
Yeah, as far as Power is concerned, I like Power. I think for what her character is, I feel like having a feral blood fiend, who is more morally gray, I would say. I mean, everyone's morally gray in this show, but she strikes me as a little more so than I think some of the other ones. So I felt like her betrayal in episode 3 was like,
well, she literally sacrificed Denji for her cat. I'm just thinking,
Yes,
Chibi's
I
like
mean-
worth it.
Uh-huh. And also just like her little relationship with Meowie, and that she likes cats more than people, I'm like, can relate.
I literally said that to you. I was like, this is the point where everyone like identified with Power when they
Yeah.
decided cats were better than people.
Yes. And as far as like creature design is concerned, like the devils are all like really different, so it's not like a whole lot of the sameness, which I like. Their creature designs are very good. Art style is very clean, very bloody, but you know, it's like remember watching in like episode 3 when Denji is coming out of like the rubble pile, and like his shirt is open and it's like fluttering in the breeze, and it all looked like they had a very good budget for this show, so they were able to do quite a bit with the visuals, which was very nice.
From what I heard, Mappa, the studio that made this, actually internally financed it. Like they didn't get from what I remember, like they didn't get a lot of outside funding. Like this was a dream passion project for them.
I'm gonna throw
Okay.
out there was a couple spots with the animation that was a little like, eh.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hits a lot of CG here and there. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
fine, other times it's like, eh.
My major issue with it was during the fight where he's Chainsaw Man. Every time he's Chainsaw Man, his head is completely CG. I think all the rest of the CG is fine. I can accept it. I just don't like when they make characters CG. I think maybe they shouldn't have cut corners with that. Like, I don't mind when it's the background or something, but that's the only time it bothered me. Otherwise, most of the time, the animation looks great. I think sometimes their faces and stuff look a little bit weird, and sometimes, like,
True.
I don't know, like, if it's the cleanness of the animation or what it is, that sometimes it just looks a little off to me. I don't know, and maybe it's the CG coming through or something. But most of the time it looks pretty good and seamless. But yeah, during some of the fights, I don't know. It's just not exactly how I wanted it to look, especially because of the manga's art style. It sort of fell a little bit short for me, especially the first time I watched it, I was slightly disappointed.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think those are pretty much most of my thoughts on what I thought of these first 3 episodes. I would say as far as like it goes, it's I would say fairly faithful adaptation. Is it necessarily my thing? Not quite, but I can definitely see why people like this.
And the people on Rewatch who have seen like all of it, Now coming back to the beginning. Thoughts there?
I'll be honest, I didn't rewatch it. I just kind of did everything on muscle memory.
You know what? That's fair.
I think for me, I felt pretty similarly to when I originally watched it. I think I've watched it about 2 or 3 times overall. And I've probably read the manga at least 2 times. Overall, I prefer the manga for various reasons. Once again, the tone, the art style, and just what he conveys through the art and the paneling, I think is done a little bit better in the manga. But I do think what they did in the anime was pretty cool, just different. And if you come in having not read the manga, I think you'll have like a great experience with this for sure. I think it is pretty faithful to it. We watched the dub this time and I don't like the dub at all. I think most of the voices don't fit, but the sub, the original like Japanese voices are great. And I think, you know, most of it looks cool and I enjoyed, like I watched the whole anime and enjoyed it thoroughly. I think it does a good job overall of bringing the story to life and remaining really true to it and really portraying the characters well. It's just like tonally some things feel different, which I think falls a little bit short of the manga. So in comparison, yeah, I think the manga's better. As an anime, I think it's fantastic. Like if I'm comparing it to just other anime in general, I think this one's great. I mean, it's top tier, but it's like, yeah, I do think my better experience of Chainsaw Man will always be the manga. But I'm a huge fan of the anime, and I think you can tell that they really did care about this project.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's very few things you would self-fund if you don't care about it, I guess. That is an interesting... I'm wondering how often that happens. I'm sure we could look it up. We don't have to go into it, but just an interesting thought. Another interesting thought, I think you showed it to me sub when we first watched it, and this time, yeah, we did do dub. Got a different sense of power this time because of the dub. Because I think they were at least trying to copy whatever her speaking style was from the dub, hopefully. She has a very archaic way of speaking. It gave... What?
You need to look up the Spanish dub for her because...
Oh, wait. We talked about possibly doing, like, weird dubs where we really don't know the language. Oh, okay. I might look that up. Later.
No, because the Spanish voice actress they got for Power...
Please tell me it's a dude.
She's very... No. It's... She's sexy. Let's put it that way. Like they made her voice they made her unbelievably sexy. Like there's a scene where Denji and Power are like talking at a vending machine, like she gets shocked. In the Spanish dub, it looks like she's having an orgasm. There's no way to say it.
That's so
There's no
wrong.
other way to say it.
¡Demonio de mierda! ¿Cómo se atreve a secuestrar a un gatito? Es mi deber hacerlo pagar por eso. Como Devil Hunter, no lo puedo dejar pasar.
Like, if you're gonna do sexy, give it to Makima. Like, what?
All right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm not surprised by this, frankly. Spanish accents are pretty hot.
So is it just the Spanish accent? I don't know.
It's like, I'm just not surprised.
It's just the Spanish accent. Yeah, it's just the Spanish accent.
You guys ever seen the French dub of Pokemon? Starmie has an orgasm every time it comes out of the Pokeball.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'll show it to you later. There's some crazy dub shit out there. But we've only ever had the fun English silliness. We really haven't gotten into like the really off the wall other language dubs out there. We should at some point. But yeah, she kind of has this archaic way of speaking, and like in the English, because I'm not really registering it in the Japanese, but in the English, I'm like, oh, she's evil Starfire.
Oh my god.
It's like that's what it sounded like to me. So,
Oh.
Because it's like you have this like overpronounced way of like saying everything, and then it's like, oh, but you're also like manic pixie dream girl murder person. Yeah,
she's
evil
not
Starfire.
a manic pixie dream girl. Don't you dare say that about Power.
Manic pixie psychopath.
Sure.
Are we past the point of manic pixie dream girls in the anime? Do you think?
Oh, they exist, just not here.
No.
Not here. There is no dream anywhere.
There's no dream here. Like...
It's just a nightmare.
Yep. I did mention to you that I think the best possible job to have in this world, probably the most lucrative job you can think of, is janitorial services. You got to think about it. This place is a mess constantly. And yet, everywhere else they go, it's nice and clean. There is a very robust janitorial, custodial industry in this world.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because there's another anime series going on right now called Kaiju number 8, and there actually is a department that cleans up after the kaiju when they get killed. So you're not wrong.
Like
it was like Pacific Rim too.
Yeah, I mean, we only briefly saw it in Spider-Man Homecoming, but there was a whole comic in Marvel that was just about the guys who have to rebuild buildings after the superheroes destroy them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, New York has the most robust and active construction industry in any sort of comic book series. Because they'll level a city, it'll be back up next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got good insurance.
They got really good infrastructure is what they got. So, I don't know, maybe we can learn something from comics. But yeah. I don't know, any other thoughts on this? I feel like we covered most of what we can for these 3 episodes, but if you guys have other things you want to talk about, later things.
Well, I will say this. In terms of, you know, the tone, I do agree that sometimes the tone was a little wonky. Like, sometimes in the later episodes, the humor was not really my taste. It was giving me Season 1 Jujutsu Kaisen vibes, and I didn't like the humor in Season 1 Jujutsu Kaisen that much. But I will say about this anime production, they went all out because, and not even so much for the animation, but like the fact that like the opening is like one of my favorites ever. Like Kickback is just masterpiece, but like the fact that they got 12 different EDs for each episode, like you don't see that often at all. So
that is really cool.
And they're all amazing.
I have to, at the very least, whether I watch the rest of the show right now or not, I am going to have to look up all of those because that's just really interesting.
I will say the first one, Chainsaw Blood, is probably my favorite. That's the one I've re-listened to the most.
Okay. Any other? What's your second favorite then? I'm putting you on the spot. Let's do this. Let me rephrase that. Instead of your second favorite, you said that the first one you re-listened to the most. Which one, from a visual standpoint, did you like the best?
That's a tough one because they were all interesting. I mean, episode 12 doesn't have a ED. It's just the characters hanging out. The music is playing over them. So out of the 11, I don't know. I mean, Chainsaw Blood was also really good visually too. Like, all of them were good, but some of the songs, I will admit, are weird. Like, they're not usually in my genre, but I guess each episode's ED is supposed to represent the tone or theme of the episode. So
that's pretty cool. It's very bebop.
Yeah. I know the guy who the Tokyo Ghoul opening did episode 8's ED song, so
Oh, I was just gonna say the one that has all of Power's cute little outfits was a really good visual.
You just really like Power?
They have her like as a cheerleader, or it's like various jobs or whatever. It's like and yes, I really love Power. She's great.
I feel like, wasn't there a thing with like Gurren Lagann? They had like a music video that was kind of like that with Yoko.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you just like redheads with like a Barbie outfit feature.
It's just fun.
Oh, and I also, before we go any further, I did talk about this a little bit off the podcast last week, but like Fujimoto, the author, he has a lineage, like he has an apprentice tree because all of his assistants have become manga writers, and one of them made Hell's Paradise, which we'll watch next week. One of them made Spy Family, and another one made Dandadan. So
I like hearing that because there are certain people, filmmakers, artists who will surround themselves with people that they're like, you have a lot of potential. I want to foster this, and I want you to then go out into the world and make something amazing. And I like hearing about that sort of thing. Like, we've occasionally talked about Mel Brooks on this podcast for one reason or another. And one of the things for him was that once he got a lot of money, he was like, I want to start producing independent films for like just upcoming filmmakers. And without him, we would not have people like David Lynch. It's so weird to think David Lynch's first movie was produced by Mel Brooks, but it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like hearing stories like that. If you want an interesting one, I know we've watched it already for a tournament and that, look up the people involved with Metabots. They go on to do so many insane things, including, I think the director of like, Summer Wars was involved in it. People who went on to work for like Trigger and make Gurren Lagann and like a whole bunch of other, like a bunch of wild people were like directors and writers for that show. And honestly, I think we need to give it another watch. It's a really good show. Like, I realized it was in a tournament, and Beyblade did better, but it's like, Metabots is really fun. And it's really silly, and I realize it's right up my alley. Anywho, any other things to say about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I think I'm a yay here. I know I didn't finish watching it the first time. I might go back and rewatch some more of this. I hate to say it, but the most of the stuff that I've watched lately is like, okay, is it already finished? Is it like less than 13 episodes? Awesome, I'll do that because that's the only thing I have time for right now. But I'd like to.
It is 12 episodes, right?
Well, yeah, but I know that there's more show and more movie than that, right? Did this get a season 2 already?
Not yet.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
The movie is literally next up after, like, there hasn't been anything else.
Never mind. I'll finish this. Okay. Cool. Good to know. So I'll give this a yay.
Yeah, I mean, I would give this a yay. I love the anime. Like I said, there are huge differences between the manga and the anime, just in tone, though the plot remains pretty much the same. But I think the anime is great, and every time I watch it, I have a great experience of it. So I give it a yay.
As far as, like, an adaptation is concerned, I thought it was, like, good, minus a couple tonal shifts, but that's just maybe part of the fact that visually it's a bit different, and it is, like, a fluid form of media rather than like a stationary one, if that makes any sort of sense. Honestly, I don't really know what I would give this, since this is not really, like, I do like Jujutsu Kaisen, but I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I think when I read the manga, I wasn't really a fan of it, and maybe that's partly because I am a mood reader. This felt a little bit better the second time around, and that might be because I've been reading a lot of Stephen King recently. But I would say I'm kind of probably in a little bit of a slot where I would say I would give this probably a high meh to like a low yay, if that sounds about right. Only because, like, I think for like a watching experience, like, this was at least better for consumption the second time around. But also, I would have to say I would probably need to, like, give it some more time, at least to, like, sit with it, only because I don't feel like I've watched enough to give it, like, a yay or a nay necessarily properly.
Okay. I mostly say yay or nay with, like, whether I'm going to continue watching this or not.
Again, I give it a meh because I don't know.
That's fair.
It's a yay for me. I mean, I watched it when it came out, and I'm excited to watch the movie, and hopefully they announce a season 2 afterward. And yeah, I mean, there were some times where I thought the jokes didn't land for me, but when the action hits and when the serious moments hits, they do hit for me, and I did have a lot of fun with it, and I did overall love the animation style, and I did like the tone, and we'll be interested to see how the movie compares if it follows the tone more of the manga. But I am excited for the movie, so yeah, it's a yay for me.
All right. Well, I think we got 1 week left of spooky season. Boo. We want more. But yeah, we'll end on. I actually don't know how we're going to be ending necessarily. Hell's Paradise. What is it? I don't know.
It's good. I like it.
You like it, but what is it?
You want a quick summary?
I usually do.
Okay. Criminals that are on death row go with a bodyguard to a mysterious island to get a magical elixir, and only one person can have it to get fully pardoned. Otherwise, the rest will die.
So Battle Royale.
Kinda, sorta, but not really.
Battle
More
Royale.
like, I don't know, Suicide Squad.
I've seen a couple other movies that are essentially Battle Royale, but it's like, hey, we're going to take a bunch of people from prison, put them on an island, and they all have to kill each other. Is that it?
In a way, yeah.
Battle Royale.
Kinda, sorta.
Sorry, death rate's 3,000. How about that?
I don't know how to respond to that.
No, you don't. But I do, and you're going to find out about it next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye!
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoy this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!